Pickles.
All right. 9:20. All right, so what I'm going to do is just go through problem number 1. Shh, children, Bryce. So problem number 1. Let's go back to 6th grade math, okay? Maybe it was 4th grade math. I'm not sure when. Maybe. So we're going to divide. Now here's what we did. And I want to go ahead and go through this because the process I do here will be the same process we do here. So let's go through it. So first of all, 5 doesn't go into 3, but 5 does go into 34. We know it goes in 6 times, right? So the trick then is what we do is we really do multiply the 6 times the 5, right? And we get 30, right? And then we subtract, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And then we subtract 34 minus 30 and we get a 4, right? And then we bring down the next term, right? Bring down the next term, we bring down the 5. Okay. And then we say, okay, well 5 goes to 45 9 times, so we put the 9. And we do multiply the 9 times the 5. We know that's 45, right? And then we subtract, right? 45 minus 45 is 0, right? And then we bring down the 1. 5 doesn't go into 1, but it does 0 times because we need a place. We got a 0. 0 times 5 is 0. And then we subtract, right? Now, when we were in 4th grade, we'd go 690, and we go R1, remainder 1, right? Remainder. And then as we got more sophisticated, we realized that we could put a decimal and keep going, or we could put it as a fraction. So what we want to do is change this instead to 690 and 1/5, and 1/5, right? And 1/5. Okay, so that's 6th grade math, right? Yeah, and we can do that. But the trick we would know is that we have a remainder of 1, but we divide it by 5, so it's 1 out of 5 left over. Got it? Now, if we take a look at number 2, we're going to be dividing polynomials, but it's got x's in it. So we're going to do the same process. Same process, we're just going to have to be more careful because it's going to be x's. So, first thing we did is we said, okay, 5 goes into 34. So we're going to do the same thing, x plus 3. We're going to divide by the x. I'm going to divide by the x and bring the 3 along, okay? Here's what I mean. X goes into 4x to the 4th time. How many times does x go into 4x to the 4th? Well, we can do a little, if you can't do it in your head, we'll do a little bit of mini division on the side. So we're looking for really 4x to the 4th divided by x, right? So really what I'm trying to do, how many times does x go into 4x to the 4th? Well, if I do a little bit of division on the side, it's really going to be a 4x to the 3rd, right? So x goes into 4x to the 3rd, really x goes into 4x to the 4th, really 4x cubed. Okay, you guys agree with that? So I'm going to put a 4x to the 3rd here. Okay, now what I'm going to do with that, just like I did up here, is I multiplied. I went the 6 times the 5 and got the 30, right? I'm going to do the same process here. I'm going to take my 4x cubed and multiply times my x, but here's where you got to see it. You also have to multiply the 4x cubed times the 3. You multiply times both, all right? You got to multiply times both. So when I do that, I'm going to get a 4x to the 4th plus a 12x to the 3rd, okay? I should probably let me use a different color. It's easier to see. 4x to the 4th plus a 12x to the 3rd, okay? Then I subtracted, right? I subtracted, but I have to subtract both. I got to subtract both. So I'm going to subtract both, because I got to subtract both, right? So when I do my subtraction, 4x to the 4th, subtract 4x to the 4th is nothing, 0, okay? But a negative 2x cubed and a negative 12x cubed makes a negative 14. So we got a negative 14x to the 3rd, okay? Now, just like I did before, then the 5 went into the 45, right? Now I'm going to take the x into the negative 14x cubed. But I have to bring down the next term. So I bring down, so we're going to negative 2 and negative 12. Okay, I'll back you up, okay? So price, I got a positive 12x cubed, right?
Yes.
But I'm going to subtract, right?
Wait, then wouldn't it be 10? Because you're subtracting a negative 2x to the third.
Right, so negative 2x cubed and a negative 12x cubed makes a negative 14. Like what? Hold on. Negative 2x cubed on the side, negative minus a 12x cubed makes what? What does that make? Negative 14x, okay? Now bring down the next term. So bring down the x squared. Bring down the x squared. And do it again. So, x goes into negative 14x cubed. How many times? Well, we can do a little bit of division on the side if you don't see it. But I could say, well, I'm not sure how to do that, but negative 14x cubed divided by an x, do a little bit of division on the side, should be a negative 14x squared. So, x goes into negative 14x cubed and negative 14x squared times. Okay, now, I'm going to have to multiply like I did before, okay? All right, so I'm going to multiply again. This times this times this, right? All right, so then I'm going to get, let's see, a negative 14x cubed minus, let's see, what is that, 42? I think it's a minus 42x squared. Okay. Now, price, I'm going to show this again. So you see the double negative. So I'm going to subtract, right?
Wait, really fast. So where did the, on the top, where did the minus 14x this squared come from?
Great. I'm going to show it. So x goes into negative 14x cubed how many times? Just like we would have said 5 goes into 30, how many times? 6, right? Okay. Now, price, when I subtract a negative, what happens? It changes them to plus. So it changes these to plus and plus. You guys agree with that? So now, negative 14x cubed, these two cancel, right? And then I've got a x squared plus a 42x squared makes a positive 43x squared. Okay? Bring down the next term, okay?
So, are you adding those now?
I did, and I'll tell you why. Great question. I subtracted a negative. Because I am subtracting, right? I'm subtracting a negative, okay? All right? Now, bring down the next term, right? So bring down the next term. So I'm going to have a minus 3x. And now, x, the first term, x goes into 43x squared. Well, if you're not sure, do a little bit of division on the side. 43x squared over x. And I get a 43x. Okay, so then x goes into 43x squared, 43x times. So that I'm going to put a plus 43x up here. Okay? So then I'm going to do what I've always done. I'm going to take and multiply, right? I'm going to multiply to get what I need down there. So I'm going to multiply my 43x times my x and my 43x times a 3. So I'm going to multiply. And I'm going to get a 43x squared. And what's 43 times 3? I don't know. 43 times 3. I get 129 plus 129x. Okay, I'm almost done. These are hard, aren't they? So then I'm subtracting, right? So I'm subtracting, but what I like to do is be careful, so I just bring the negative through. So subtract price, you see what I just did? Price, see I just brought the negative through? Right?
Then is it a negative 129x?
Yes. So now those cancel, and I'll be left with a negative 132x, all right?
So,
Almost done.
so I understand you subtracted the negative when you were doing 14x to the third, that equation.
Right.
So why is it subtract like negative down here?
Right. So when I'm subtracting, Bijou, that was a positive. So what I do subtracting, I really just change the signs. Because if I subtract a positive, it makes it a negative. If I subtract a positive, it makes it negative. That's why I'm using different colors. For a reason, I'm using different colors. So you know when I change the signs.
And you can just change them like that?
Right, because when you make anything negative, you change its sign, right?
Okay.
So let me keep going. So now I bring down the next term, bring down the 5, bring down the 5. I'm going to go plus 5. Almost done. X goes into negative 132x. Well, negative 132 times. Okay? And now I'm going to multiply. Okay? I'm going to multiply this times this times this is going to give me a negative 132x, and I don't know what that 3 times 132, 916. It's going to make it a positive, no, negative, I'm sorry, because that is negative 396. Okay, Bijou, I want you to watch this next step, okay? Because it's the one Price got stuck on, okay? But I'll wait till you're ready, okay? Because this is where Price got stuck. Tim.
Where are we ever going to actually use this?
Oh, probably never, except for just probably to get through college, and you'll have to take college math class. Probably never. Okay.
So where'd the 5 come from?
That 5, I brought it down. Okay. Now, you ready? Watch. Now, Bijou, are you watching? I'm going to subtract. But if I subtract a negative, I add it, right? If I subtract a negative, I add it. So here's what I do. By using a different color, I'm going to subtract a negative, which is really like adding it, right? I'm going to subtract a negative, which is like adding, okay?
But if you were, let's say you were adding and it would stay a negative.
Yes. Okay, now, that cancels. And what's 5 plus 396 should be 401, right? Okay, 401. Now, x plus 3 does not go into 401 because there's no x's, right? This is my remainder. Okay, so let's see what my answer is. My answer is, here's my answer, right? There's my answer. My answer is 4x cubed minus 14x squared plus 43x minus 132 plus a remainder. But we don't write as a remainder. We put as a fraction, 401 over what I divided by, which is x plus 3. Now, is there an easier way? Yes, there's a trick. Somebody a long time ago came up with a way to do this, but it only works. The trick I'm going to show you, it only works if it's x plus or minus a number. It's a thing called synthetic division, okay? You want to see how to do this the easy way? Turn the page. Synthetic division, okay? Now the first thing you noticed is it's the exact same problem, right? We're going to do this. We are going to do synthetic division, start with an upside down division sign, okay? Make it upside down, because when you do the upside division sign, we're doing this weird trick called synthetic division, okay? Upside down, okay? Do that. Now, we don't need to put the x's in because we know the x's are there. So I'm going to put a 4, negative 2, 1, negative 3, and 4, okay? Just put the coefficients, okay? Out in front here, we're going to put the opposite. So instead of x plus 3, I'm going to put negative 3. Now the x's are invisible, okay? Everybody got that? The x's are invisible. We know they're there, but they get in the way, right? If we put them in, then it gets all messy and ugly like this, right? So let's just make the x's invisible, but you have to put the opposite. Okay, now, here's what's going to happen. Because I put the opposite here, I'm not going to subtract. I'm going to add. Say it again. Since I put the opposite here, I'm not going to subtract. I'm going to add, because I've already made it negative. Okay? Now, put another line right here underneath it, okay? and a little box right there, okay? So here's how we do synthetic division. It's actually a really cool little trick, okay? You put your upside down division sign, you put your coefficients, 4, -2, 1x squared, -3, 4, okay? This is really easy, but you got to learn how to do this, okay? I put my line of that in a little box. This little box is going to be our remainder. So the little box is really right below our constant, whatever our constant term is, because that's where my remainder is going to go, okay? That little box is my remainder, okay? Here's how it works. Everybody listening. Step 1, bring the first term straight down. Step 1, first term comes straight down. Boom. Just bring the 4 straight down. There it is, 4, okay? Step 1, just bring it straight down. Boom, okay? Step 2, we're going to multiply. We're going to multiply, okay? We're going to multiply. So, 4 times -3 is a -12. So I'm going to put a -12 right there.
Okay.
And then, this is my add line. I'm going to add. Inside of here, we add, okay? So we add. What's a -2 plus a -12? -14, right? Remember how we got a -14 on the other side? What do you know? Now we're going to multiply, okay? Multiply, right? So 14 times 3 is 42. So I get a 42. Then I add. We're going to practice this, don't worry. Then we add, and we get a 43, don't we? Then we multiply. 43 times -3. And I get a -129. These are the same numbers we had on the other side, aren't they? The exact same numbers we had, but this is easier, right? So I get -129. -129. And then we add, right? We add. So we get a -132. And then we multiply, okay? Then we multiply. So we multiply again. Let's see, 132 times 3, and we get a 396. I get a 396. And then we add, right? And if we add this, we get a, I must have made a mistake somewhere on the one in front, because I got a 400, didn't I? So I get a 400. I got a 401 last time. I must have added wrong. Anyway, I got a 400. Okay, now our answer, remember, our answer is there, but we got to put the x's back in. Okay, we got to put the x's back in. So what we did is we divided by an x. It was invisible, so that means we're going to have one less power. So the answer's got to be not an x to the 4th, but an x to the 3rd. Okay, one less power. So my answer is going to be, here's my answer, 4x to the 3rd minus 14x squared plus 43x minus 132 plus my remainder 400 over what I divided by x plus 3. That was a lot easier than what we did before. We're going to practice it again, okay? Okay? We're going to do it again. Okay? All right? I'll wait for you, because it is easy once you remember the steps. You just got to remember the steps, okay? Okay, you ready for number 4? Okay, here we go. Same stuff, okay? What's the first step you have to do? Guys, remember, first step. What's our first step?
Chain or right, like the little line. And
Okay,
then
upside down division, right? Okay. Now, we do not, this is very important, we do not have an x to the 4th. There's an 0x to the 4th. We need to put the 0 in there. Does that make sense? There's an x to the 5th, 3, 2, 1, none, but there is no x to the 4th. There's a missing term. You have to have all the terms. So when I put my numbers, I'm going to go 5 for the 5x to the 5th, 0 for my x to the 4th, because there's no x to the 4th term, 3, 4, -4, 1. Okay? First step, put in all of your coefficients. Don't miss the missing, make sure you put in the missing terms, okay? Bring the opposite. So I'm going to put a 2 here, okay? I'm going to put my add, this is called my add line. I'm going to put my add line here with my remainder, okay? Put my add line with my remainder, okay? So I did this. Upside down division, because it's synthetic division. I put my coefficients in 5, 0, 3, 4, negative 4, and 1, okay? I took the opposite of what I'm dividing by. So negative 2, I put a positive. Then I'm ready to divide. Step 1, always bring down the first term. Always. Step 1, always just bring down the first term. Bring down the 5, and then multiply. Add, multiply. Add, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, and get it done, right? So if we multiply, we get 10 is right. Add. 0 plus 10 is?
10. Oh,
Multiply. 20. Add. 23. Multiply. 46. Add. Multiply. Add. Multiply. 192.
No, bro, don't touch.
Add. Okay, now our answer is there. Our answer is there. But it's going to be 1 less. My answer is going to be 1 less than this. Instead of x to the 5th, it's going to be x to the 4th. Because I divided by an x, it's going to be 1 less degree. So my answer, here's my answer. 5x to the 4th plus 10x cubed plus 23x squared plus 50x plus 96 plus 193 over x minus 2. Yes.
Okay, so.
So this way we can skip like all
How
those
did you get
steps.
the 192?
That was 96 times 2.
Add 1.
So, the only time you're ever going to have to do it like this is when you get to problem number 8 on your homework today. And I will do problem number 8 with you, and you'll see the difference, okay? I'll do problem number 8 with you. But all the rest,
How many problems are there?
not that many. You guys should be able to get it done.
That's kind of easy.
It's not bad, is it?
can we start it now?
Yeah, let's go ahead and start our homework. Is it locked right now? Or is it open?
Let me check.
I don't remember what time I started.